Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you already know, I'm assuming, the Western sponsors, or actually the Western countries who wage a war in Ukraine against the Russians or Russia, I will not use it's a war between Ukraine and Russia, because that's not what it is. I mean, you can ignore facts as much as you want. Once you provide my enemy with weapons, you're already involved in the scuffle, and if I am involved with my neighbor and the other neighbors jump in and give me weapons or give them weapons, that means you are involved. Now, obviously, if my my neighbor's bloodline is you and only you, then you are actually at war with me, since these guys cannot survive without you. So I should do something to you then. If I do something to you, you're gonna stop providing them with any support, material support, political and financial, and then I can win against this guy who's already drowning. Now, what's happening here? We have Dmitry Peskov, the spokesman of the Kremlin, and he is telling us what Russia will do now that the Americans and the British and the French and other weasels, Germans, decided to send vehicles, infantry vehicles to Ukraine. And the UK, United Kingdom, said that they will send actually Challenger 2 battle tanks. All right, now Germany was whistling out little by little, but they were pressured into sending Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. Finland will do the same thing. Poland will do the same thing. United States probably will follow with its Abrams sometime later if necessary. In the meantime, the French upped the game by sending their little, the so-called light tanks. They will send them, they already decided to send them to Ukraine. I can't remember the name of them. It's a AMC something 10S or something. It's a tank on rubber wheels, but it's a big cannon and all that. No, that's what the French sent. So they little by little. So now Peskov says, well, you can send, and you already did send Ukraine billions of dollars in weapons. This is what we're going to do. All right, so let's see what the Russians are going to do about it. This article comes from Sputnik from today, the 9th of January, 2022. Europe, NATO pumped tens of billions of dollars of arms supplies into Ukraine, the Kremlin says. Kremlin being and this Mr. Peskov. All right, that's the guy. The EU and NATO have supplied, and I'm quoting, tens of billions of dollars worth of arms to Ukraine, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday, today. Last week, US President Joe Biden and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz released a joint statement announcing commitment of infantry fighting vehicles to Ukraine. French President Emmanuel Macron in turn promised his Ukrainian counterpart Zelensky to supply Kiev with an unspecified number of AMX-10RC armored combat vehicles. I made a video on that one, posted a picture over there. It's they call it a light tank. But whatever, whatever it is. We already got to this point. I'm not going to argue with semantics and bullshit. I mean, it's not a condom or a helmet or a blanket that's sent. It's a freaking armored vehicle. So, I'm not going to let myself dragged into that kind of stupidity when you say, no, it's not a tank. It's already too much. So it's not a tank. Okay, it's an armored vehicle, infantry. Okay, it's only that? Oh, all right then, I'm okay. No. Did you send over there a condom to Ukraine to help them? And I don't know if you help them with a condom, but anyway, probably without condoms you help them. But anyway, you help them with something? That should have been the conversation right now. Not if that's a tank, it's not a tank. It's no. We're too far in the field. Let's go back to the edge and let's start with the first step. First step, you send a bullet. You're in it. You're involved. What am I going to do? I don't know. Di-ba-ba-ba. I can't say it. Okay? But anyway. So, and I'm quoting, it hardly makes sense to speak only of France's decision. We know that collective Europe, the North Atlantic Alliance, and the United States have pumped tens of billions of dollars into Ukraine through the supply of arms, end quote, Peskov told reporters. These deliveries cannot fundamentally change anything, the official said. All right, well, I don't think it fundamentally changed the outcome of the war over there, but definitely it makes it harder, and it prolongs the suffering and the war, and prolongs the big money that some companies are making due to this how should I put it, selfless, quote-unquote, support of poor, quote-unquote, Ukrainians. Why do I say poor Ukrainians? I am for the Ukrainian nation and the Ukrainians, but not on the guys who are in charge of Ukraine. They're not doing the bidding of the Ukrainian nation. I don't think so. Can I have an opinion on that? I can. Are you going to arrest me? Not yet, but it's okay. They're going to make you shut up, and then, if you don't shut up, they're going to do their up. That's how the commissars work, So anyway, what they're going to do, they're going to continue to blow them up as they come in. The problem is this. I am 100% certain, let's put it 99.9, that these weapons are not 100% ending up in the hands of the Ukrainian army. All right? You can say, well, I mean, you just, if you've been around the block a few times, and I hope you were, you know that even in not that important circumstances, when you have this kind of deliveries, let's take food to Africa, the aid. Do you think that aid that is sent by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, I don't know if they're still together or nothing, do you think that goes, all of it goes to the poor Africans that they show you they are malnourished and all that? Do you think that? I don't think so, and I know so. I remember I did a study, I don't know, it was 20 years ago. I didn't do a study, I read a study. And they were telling about 10% of the whole amount of money that is, provided by these organizations. Good for them. End up in wherever they're sent. So let's say I send $100,000 to Africa to help with something. It gets over there maybe, $10,000. The rest is lost in other things, like a restaurant. If you're in a restaurant business, you know that you have 10% or 5% damage in glasses, plates, forks. People steal, people break. So you have that damage, but that's 10% or 5%, depends on what kind of restaurant you run. But in this case, is billions of dollars. People, their generational fortunes they're gonna be set up forever. The family, if they get 2 tanks or 3 tanks and they successfully sell it to whomever, Al Capone out there or Putin Capone, they forever will be wealthy. The money transferred in a bank, nobody should know, not in Ukrainian bank, no, Swiss bank. Put over there nicely, zip it, and confidentiality works until you become too and then they freeze your assets, and then they do whatever they want to you. So don't rock the boat. And imagine a general or a major or a captain over there in charge of some batteries or whatever missiles, sells 3 missiles to someone else, or not only howitzers or how do you call those, anti-tanks and so on, sends those and sells 20 of those. He can just retire right there in Bahamas. Look how much one costs. So, you know what I mean? This is a profitable business for many people, not for the Ukrainian people. And they say, well, the Ukrainians were attacked by the Russians and so on. Yeah, that's a fact. They were attacked by the Russians. Could they have been prevented? I say yes. Why wasn't it prevented? Well, it's going to be very uncomfortable to provide the answer. Why? Because the good guys now, wink, wink, maybe they played a role in this. No, Emil. No, Emil. Well, let's bring the evidence. No, you can't. Why? because this is the outcome. This is how we have to think. And if we have to think that way, we have to ignore each and every information that would contradict that outcome. That's how it goes here. They say the glasses are bad. They start with proclaiming that, and then they create everything around it. Whatever gonna prove that the glasses are bad or something, they can poke you in the eye, or you can cut someone's carotid or whatever around, actually here, right? Then, no, or it's bad. But you ignore the fact that, hey, oh, it's you. Oh, you know what I mean? They ignore the oh, they're light. Oh my God, that's nice. Oh, you can put them over here. Oh, you can stick them in your ass. I mean, it's, you can use it for many functions. But I'm just saying, you ignore all that, and you're gonna end up with two pieces of evidence that these are bad. Because if you give it to a child, the child could ingest part of it and whatever. That's a bad. See, glasses are bad. But you ignore everything else. You don't do the same thing with a human being, do you? I mean, we all made mistakes. That means we're all bad. No, you take good and bad and you make the proportionality and the value of those good things. Because one good thing and a bad thing is not one-on-one. Because maybe the good thing is like this in value, all right? You close the door so the wind doesn't blow inside of the house. That's a good thing. Or you did something bad, I don't know. You were responsible of 20 million people Russian purge. Now which one is it? It's one-on-one. But this is 20 million, and this is you close the door to the house. You know, so here you have it. Peskov did not say anything about bombarding the NATO countries, of the European countries, or the supply of weapons in those countries. That means the policy is the same as they stated at the beginning. You send those things, we're going to destroy them before they get the front, or we're going to destroy them whenever we can. I think that's kind of like a limited action, but hey, they know what they're doing, and probably they look and say, hey, do I have enough ammunition to blow them up? Yeah. Oh, we're going to continue doing that. Do we have enough people here to sacrifice for the motherland? Yeah, we're going to do that. Probably they make their calculations, and then if the things get too how should I put it, too extreme, then probably they're going to come with different policies and say, okay, that's it guys, the gig is up. No more shooting them on in Ukraine. We're going to shoot them if they land in Poland. We're going to do that. And the guy's going to say, hey, you can't do that because NATO is going to react. Well, however it's going to be, if you react, then we're going to react. And you react, we react, and that's it. We're done. The bullshit is done. I hope they don't get that point, and I don't see any signs they are on the way to reaching that point until the mass media is going to start too much nonsense. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. Look for the truth and be just.